forms of activism range from street marches, rallies, campaigning, and writing letters to newspapers, all with the desire to promote social or political change. In today's digital age, social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram have introduced the opportunity for wide-scale online social participation. This gave rise to what we call internet or online activism.
Suddenly, we have these platforms and tools and technologies that have given rise to the ability for anybody to congregate, create groups, activism, passion. And so, yeah, you are seeing a huge surge in activism.
So, did you go to the Women's March in January?
Yes.
How did you find out about it?
Through social media. I saw it on Twitter, so I decided to go.
So yeah, I've donated to multiple causes online and also I've signed multiple petitions.
Yet, what are the actual benefits and possible costs of engaging in online activism? Some argue today that social media generate actions taken to bring about change, but requiring only minimal commitment and effort, thus leading to no change at all. They call it Slacktivism. A study published in 2013 actually says that somebody liking or reposting something from a charity makes them less likely to give to that charity.
If you're on social media, then you know people are talking about the world's problems, right? Maybe more openly and more opinionated than ever before. But are all of those people engaging in their communities offline? There's actually a term for this. It's called Slacktivism.
And everybody does that. You know, people post things to make themselves, to advertise that they support a particular issue, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're doing anything. So you really need to be conscious about actions that need to be taken. So yeah, you click on something and say that you're angry about a particular policy, that's fine, but are you also calling your representative at the same time, right? You should click and call. I mean, those things should happen. Are you actually going out to vote? Are you getting involved with community organizations that are doing some work? And, you know, are you just giving money to different causes that need it? I think it is important to draw attention to particular issues. So, you know, I'm very interested in women's global issues. And so, yeah, I'm going to post stories about women and war in the Congo because I want people to know that that's happening. But at the same time, what else could I be doing? And I'm like anybody else, I get overwhelmed. So sometimes it's like you have to focus on the local as you're also thinking about the global. So yes, Slacktivism is gotten too easy.
Well, I think social media makes us lazy because we tend to rely on it just to like get our voice out there and hashtags, and we think that's gonna like be very effective when it comes to solving issues like Black Lives Matter or solving issues with gender and sex identities and stuff like that. And I feel like for me, I would prefer individuals walking outside and doing something physically than on social media. As much as it grabs the attention of the population we exist in, I feel like it makes us lazy.
So it seems in the age of the internet, the concept of activism has been greatly misconstrued. Yes, social media has the power to instantly spread viral hashtags concerning various campaigns, but is this an effective way for an individual to be part of a cause? How can one go about this issue and avoid slacktivism?
Well, use social media as a tool for communication, but you always need to think about action too. So you can get 1,000 likes on a page, but it's also sometimes better to have 1,000 bodies in the street. Right? So you need to show up for stuff because that's what gets attention. And you also, I think an important part of activism, at least through social media, is to promote people who are doing this work. You know, to be promoting, you know, women of color who are writing about particular issues whose voices are being silenced, and keep your own voice out of it, but make sure that you're pushing what they're saying. I think that's really important too. You know, and use social media to communicate with your leadership. You know, are you tweeting at your congressperson to let them know that you're unhappy with what they're doing? They tend to pay attention to that. So I think that there are useful ways to use it. It's just too easy to kind of get lulled into a sense of doing something just because you're reading about it.
To conclude, if you want to become an activist, you want to start making a change for a certain cause, and you're thinking about creating your own campaign or joining an ongoing one, to avoid Slacktivism, the three things that you want to keep in mind are, first of all, do something that actually involves getting up. Secondly, know and understand your limitations. And the third tip is to actually connect with real life campaigns.